everybody.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
I am Janae Strother.
I'm Sean Spencer.
Back.
We are back.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen.
I gotta go out and hold up.
Come on. The line. The line. New man so fine. Kirk Cousins.
All right. I am Janae Strother.
I am Sean Spencer.
And this is Let's Talk Football.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy, Sean Spencer, one half of that dynamic duo that is Let's Talk Football. And you know what today is, ladies and gentlemen. It is Wednesday. Happy Hump Day to you, baby. And hey, Washington Football Weekly, I'm here with my guy, the coolest guy I know, the man from Phoenix, South Carolina, Will Kramer. Well,
what's going on, man?
Man, things are moving and grooving, Will.
Yes, they are. What did we say this month is, and what just happened? What's going on right now?
Oh yeah, March Madness, baby.
Let's
go.
Madness.
Let's go. Let's get it. Wait. The real Carolina. Can we talk about it? Yeah. I like how your face changed. The real Carolina. We had to go ahead and spoil Mr. Coach K. Much respect to you, sir. But we had to spoil his little going away party.
You sure did.
Didn't want to shake hands with folks. It's all good. It's all right. But it's all right. So, hey, the news, there's a lot of stuff going on. First and foremost, definitely want to do this. We've done this on every show that we've been on. Prayers to Ukraine. Everything that's going on out there. Want to make sure that we can just keep them in our prayers, the people that are fighting back the whole situation. Just keep them lifted up in prayer, no doubt. And hopefully the best outcome will come out of it. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is Washington Football Weekly. We are still here. Will, big news today, Will.
Does something happen today?
Yeah, there was some big news. The Colts traded Carson Wentz to Washington. Something we've been expecting to happen. We were expecting some kind of trade. This is not what we were expecting. This is not where we were expecting. Will, what do you think, man? How are you feeling, man?
Man, I mean, all offseason they've been saying the next guy's gonna be QBX. Yep. We have QBX, and it's QB1 Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
Shocked me. You know, I think they were kind of a little salty that they didn't get Russell yesterday. The fact that he said no, I think that didn't sit well with them. But Ron said all along he wanted a veteran. He wanted somebody to come in here and help out this team, and so they went and pulled the trigger. Thank you to Ab because I was not ready for that, and all of a sudden we got the text that I dropped everything. I was out of it for an hour. No work being done. I couldn't concentrate.
And see, that's the thing. When I first saw it, and if you look at the tweet, he actually says the Colts traded him for a package of packs. And so I'm like, oh, wait a minute. And, Shefty's already kind of leery. We're already kind of second-guessing some of the things he said since the Aaron Rodgers and the Tom Brady reports that he brought out. So I'm like, wait a minute. Maybe this is not right. Maybe this is an April Fool's before April. Like, is this really happening? But yeah, once we did more research and found out it's really happening, it was just like, now talk about the contract. Talk about what all entails is in the trade.
All right. So compensation was a third-round pick this year, a third-round pick next year, with the chance for it to be a second-round pick if he plays in 70% of snaps.
Yeah.
And both teams swapped seconds. So we moved down in the second round. They got a chance to move up. Kind of seems like a lot for him. Not going to lie.
Yeah.
I said one thing I pride myself on when we talk is, as much as we love this team right here, we're not afraid of kind of saying when we wouldn't have done what they did. And that sort of seemed like a little bit steep for someone that I wondered, are they going to cut him?
Right. It feels like we could have waited it out for then him to be a free agent at a certain point. And it was like, why did we get him? So, and also, wait, don't we have to pay? Aren't we paying the rest of his contract over there? Like, what is that about?
Yeah, great point. Not only did we give up his compensation, some draft capital, we're taking on all $28 million of his contract. Now, it is only it's a 1-year deal. He's got 3 years left on his deal, but there's an out after this year. So there is a chance that this is a 1-year, thing, and then we move on. But that's a lot of money for the position.
Yes.
That's a lot of money for a middle of the road quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what though? I think they panicked.
They do too.
I think the fact that last year Stafford said no. This year, Russell Wilson said no to their offer. And then we're about to hit free agency, and Pittsburgh needs a quarterback. Now Seattle's going to need somebody. There's talk that the Giants are going to go after Mitch Trubisky. New Orleans is going to need a quarterback, whether that, rumored trade goes through or not. And I think they started thinking the only way we're going to get our guy is if we make sure we get our guy.
Right.
And so I kind of think they might have panicked and said, okay, we got to go do this. Because I did hear, this is just a rumor, that our initial offer to them was a 4th and a 6th round pick. And for it to, that's a lot to change if that's the case. But ultimately, I really think that they panicked.
It's $28 million, $5 million guarantee due by next week, apparently. Thank you for that, Delilah. And yes, Dallas fans are here. Commander Carson. Let's go. All right, Ash. Thank you kindly. Don't let him beat you. Don't let us beat you with Carson.
Exactly.
That's all I'm saying.
Carson,
Commander Carson. Yes. Don't let us beat you. Oh, my goodness. This is, you know what? On one side of it, it does kind of go along with it. Shout out to Ab, the whole theory that he brought up like a month or so ago, 2 months ago, where we talked about if we get a quarterback, just anybody, and then we can focus now on the draft. Focus on getting a quarterback in the draft that we know now can sit, and he's our Trey Lance. He's our secondary guy coming in. Once the first guy, I mean, if Wentz does good things, great. If not, we have our guy coming up in the wings where he doesn't have to start right away. Now let's focus on other things. I think that's one thing that I do think is good, that it takes away the need to be like, oh, we're still. And I think a lot like what you were saying, once we didn't get Wilson, didn't get Rodgers, didn't get Watson, didn't get all these people, it's kind of like we got to get somebody. And it's like we rushing this guy. Let's get this guy.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, because if you think about it, if we draft somebody, whether it's a 1st round pick, 2nd round pick, people are going to be wondering, when is this guy getting on the field?
Right.
But there is a chance with Carson here that people, the fans will listen to the team saying, be patient. Like what if they do what San Francisco did and say we draft what'd she say? Sydney said I might need to leave the house.
Yeah,
he probably would. It's probably safer. Get a hotel.
Yes.
Just let her have her time.
Right. It would be great. It would be great. I'm telling you.
It's not an if, it's when, Sid.
Thank you. Here we go.
Yeah.
Take command, baby.
But no, I think there's a chance with Carson Wentz. Say you go after and you pick up a Desmond Ridder in the 2nd or 3rd round. You could sit here and say, okay, we're going to let this guy sit, because we're going to let Wentz do it. But here's the other thing. Wentz is like, 29, 30?
Mm-hmm.
What if he finds what the magic he had in Philly in 2017? Right. Or is somewhat of that? I mean, honestly, right now, we're kind of joking like, oh, geez, we got this guy, but compared to Kirk, he's our best quarterback since Kirk Cousins, who before that was our best quarterback since Brad Johnson.
Right.
Our bar is really low.
Right.
But, and this is an improvement. And I think he's better than Danny Dimes,
Yeah, I agree.
I would say you could make the argument as a football standpoint, go toe-to-toe with Jalen Hurts as who's got the number 2 quarterback in the NFC East.
Right.
And I'll say this one other thing. Carson Wentz probably would have won 1 or 2 more games for us last year. Think about that interception that Heineke threw against Philly. You know, think about some of those games in the beginning of the season. You know, we did not play well against San Diego, the Chargers.
Yeah.
You know, he could have been a 1 to 2 game difference last year. What could he be this year? Just say glass half full sometimes.
I understand. Look, believe me, if we get the Carson Wentz that had Philly 11-2 going into that Rams game, hey, he was an MVP candidate. He was dominating the league. We've seen what he's done to us. There is a significant difference after the injury and after that whole season.
Long time ago, he's been that Carson Wentz.
Exactly. So it's a tale of two careers almost. We're going to have to go ahead and see. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, we are not the only ones. On this show, we want to bring others in to give them an opportunity to speak their piece, because this is something that has reverberated around Washington Nation, and not just Washington fans, but other fans, man, close, near, and far. So we're going to ask the question, what are reactions? And we're going to bring in some of our guys. Actually, real quick, this segment right here, ladies and gentlemen, is brought to you by our local handyman. And
hey there, ladies and gents. Your local handyman, Anton Benton, here to help you with your problems. I'm here right now on the job site, taking out whole kitchen cabinets. A little bit more work to do, but if you got a project at your house that you need to get completed, I'm your guy to finish it up for you. Give me a call, let me know what you need to get done.
Your new company, man. Shout out to your new company. Go ahead and tell the world about your new company real quick.
Oh boy. So marketing, Anton Benton Pros.
Yes.
Doing everything from plumbing to electrical to making huge decks to doing closets.
Yes.
Doing it all.
That's what's up, man. I'm super happy
Thank
for
you guys. Thank you.
Yeah. So if you need any work done, my man travels. And let's go ahead and bring him in right now, Mr. Anton Benton.
Yo. I am grateful for what you have done for me, sir. I am grateful.
You know what it is, baby.
Salute to both of you, sirs. Salute to both of you.
Oh yeah. But look, hey, my guy Anton's not the only one. We got to bring, this guy, I'm going to bring him in, and I need to let him just tell you some of the new things that he is just getting into, some voiceover work. My guy, Mr. Fingers, Mr. 1800 Personalities. Yay. What up, what?
What's going on, my boy?
Oh, you know we good, man. We good.
Look, listen, sir, Mr. Benton. Many props to you on your business venture. Congratulations on everything. We might have to change your official title. We gonna have to come up with some kind of title. We gonna have to change it from handyman to something else, because I know a certain young lady that put this ring on this finger to tell you it's only one real handyman. No, wait a minute. Hold on. Hey, Skip Bayless. If you don't take that dirt and put it back inside your head.
Let's go.
I just saw it here the other day. The woman said to me, the wife said to me, I need a garbage disposal put underneath the sink. Can you do it for me? Can you be my personal handyman? I said, sure thing, baby, I got you. Inside my head, I was scared because I ain't never put no garbage disposal in underneath the sink before. But I did it and I didn't blow myself up. So there you go.
There you go. Hey,
yes,
there
sir.
you go. But look,
I'll let you know if you need to open those lines and talk to me how to walk through it. I got you.
Oh, bro, I'm gonna have you in my ear like an earwig, like on NCIS when they had the joints in their ear, and I'll be like, what I'm supposed to do now? My wife will be checking on me. You all right, baby? No, I got it. Hurry up, bro. She getting suspicious.
Let's go. Helping husbands everywhere.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, that could be a service.
Hey,
$50 a pop.
Hey, we got one more guy in the background. The guy that is lighting up the late night, the king of the late night. My guy, Mr. Big Nate, host of Big Nate Sports Talk Podcast. What up, Nathan?
What's good, fellas? What's good?
How we doing, man?
Hey,
I'm hanging in there.
You doing all right? You doing all right?
Yes, sir.
All right, yo, hey, ladies and gentlemen, he will be going on a little bit later, 10:30 tonight, talking about all of the crazy news that's been going on. But guys, we know why you're on here. We're on here to talk about Carson Wentz getting traded to Washington. Was it too much? Are you excited about it? Anton, I'm going to come to you first. How do you feel about this? What are you thinking, man?
You know, first thought, I'm like, what in the world are they up to now in that office? Out of left field, hey, let's just go ahead and get our quarterback now.
Mm-hmm.
What? What? Russell just gets signed. Now all of a sudden, oh, let's be in the news too. Now.
Yeah, exactly.
What? So, you know, first option, I'm already thinking something's got to be behind this in order for Carson to come back to our conference.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to pay his leftovers to get him back here.
Yeah.
I'm already like, what? So, you know, rapping and thinking about it, honestly, you think about his stats. He was in Philadelphia, bad O-line. It made him look bad. He goes to Indianapolis. 1 year, he's already helping that team over 500. Talented quarterback in the wrong situation. Could we do that for him here? Now, the fact that we got him early, we've got a lot of other things to concentrate on. Yeah. We don't have to worry about a quarterback in the draft.
Yep.
I'm good for that now. I'm thinking, okay, this is a good business move because now we don't have to think so hard. We have defense kind of locked in. We have our offensive quarterback already here. We've got already a lot of players already locked in for their starting spots. We can just now start to comb through all the little parts. I like it.
Yeah. Okay. I can dig it. All right. Hey, Mr. Fingers, Mr.
Yes,
Atlanta, sir. Mr. Hot Atlanta. You got some news. You got some news down there yourself.
Oh yeah. You listen, you talk about Washington fans being salty.
Ooh.
We Atlanta fans are real salty. First, Calvin Ridley's like, yeah. Ooh, we getting beat. Say something quick. Hey, I got problems. I'm gonna go sit down for a while. And now you lost him for the whole season. Now you have your number one receiver out for another season because he can't stay on FanDuel. Yeah, so we got our own $1,500 cost him $10 million. I think that's the meme I've been seeing floating around. I'm just saying somebody did not teach him math.
He ain't getting it.
If Johnny has 10 million apples, but if he spend his 15 on what he's not supposed to, he gonna lose these 10 million. Will Johnny spend that $1,500?
He not getting it. He not getting it. What you thinking about this? Carson Wentz, man. Carson Wentz coming to Washington. You know, the Colts got a ransom apparently for him. What are you thinking, man?
Well, number one, I know the accounts payable department in Indianapolis. Like, whew, we could write that off. I'm not gonna lie. I was on the clock. I was still working at 9 to 5 when my phone dinged, and I looked and I was like, huh?
Right.
I was like, you, Anton, like that. The Washington front office. Ashburn is like that little brother or little sister that's got the big brother or big sister that's always the outstanding one. It always gets the good grades. It always is excellent at everything they do.
Chip on the shoulder.
And they got to be over the top. They're like, hey, Mom, look at me. Wait, I'm over here. I'm setting the house on fire. Didn't I do that? That's kind of that's what I have observed from a first person perspective during the time I lived in Virginia and got to see it up close. Yeah. And I'm like you, and my first reaction was like, yo. And the what is it? Commander Kirk, Commander, what is it?
Commander Carson.
Commander Carson. That's even. God, could you imagine? Wait, could you imagine if Cousins was still here though? Could you imagine if Cousins was still here? Be Commander Kirk. It's anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, because it was already calling Captain Kirk.
The real fans say it right.
Anyway, that was my first thought, but I haven't had some time to walk it back and think about it for a second. I agree with you guys. I mean, you already have a quarterback in here. You can finally sit beer can down. That's what I call it. Y'all can sit beer can down. He can relax. And if you got any picks left on, later in late rounds, maybe you could pick you up a good third because y'all know you have a tendency to run through the first two at some point during the season. Say what you want to say, but
facts.
I don't know. I mean, given let's look at what's going on right now. Philly is not. I don't foresee Philly being a threat. I think Philly, at least this season, still has some work to do.
They got three first rounders.
Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens
because of Carson Wentz, and that's right. You see how it comes full circle.
Oh boy, I didn't even know all that. Well,
yeah.
Well, at least, you're not okay. Well, at least you're not gonna have to worry about the Giants, and the way things are looking in Dallas, you might not have to worry about them this season either. So,
but you're still looking at people that still got to learn pro football,
right?
Get together,
right? But I don't know. I don't think it's that bad. I mean, you have a quarterback that has experience in leading a team from the front, not chasing from the back of the pack. I mean, he's done a little bit of both. He's done a little bit of both since he left Philly, but he can lead for he's good at leading from the front. You mentioned that 11-2 season, and were not for the fact for him getting hurt, he would have. You know what I mean? I think he still would have won that Super Bowl. So you got that quarterback with that experience.
Yeah.
Will that quarterback be able? Will he be able to channel that and bring that back? That remains to be seen. If that's the quarterback you guys get next season, Washington is going to be something to look out for.
Very true. Very true.
Washington is going to be something to look out for.
Look,
big if though.
Very big if. But I mean, hey, Nathan, I'm coming to you. It is a very big if, but you are one that could you understand having a quarterback that he was highly touted to as he came in, but he was from a smaller school, North Dakota State. You know, he's from a school that wasn't the major powerhouse. You had a quarterback, Mr. Joe Flacco, for Delaware State, that was able to make some moves, who had talent. Now, he's doing great right now, but there was a time coming out of college that he was highly touted, and everybody's like, oh, this is the next big thing. Carson Wentz was that guy at one point. Can he get to that? Can he get back to that kind of level? Or is this a terrible move?
I mean, I think he can get back to not like. I mean, he was at one point considered an MVP conversation. He got hurt.
Right.
I mean, to be fair, this is just how I feel. Particularly that last year in Philly, I think his confidence was shook. I mean, he really had no talent at wide receivers. I think using practice squad wide receivers and third string running backs off the street.
Well, look, his confidence was shook since Nick Foles took his team to the Super Bowl and won it against Tom Brady.
I think
he's never been the same.
The next season.
Yeah, he's never been the same.
I mean, and also Indianapolis. I mean, if your name is not Jonathan Taylor, who else was a reliable playmaker for Indianapolis?
Michael Pittman Jr. I mean, I get what you're saying. But yeah.
So I mean, you don't need. I mean, you got McLaurin, you've got Logan Thomas. I'm not sold on Curtis Samuel because of injuries. I feel like Washington could move on from that contract, but we'll probably eat a year of his salary. I mean, if you just put decent receivers and an offensive line that can stay healthy in front of them, I think it's a good move. But I'm not really feeling the fact that a quarterback guru and Frank Wright after 1 year didn't really fight for his guy.
Right.
That's my concern. He didn't fight for him. It was kind of like,
Let him
okay,
do it.
well, we didn't make the playoffs, so yes, Carson, we're going to let you go. That's my only concern. Like after 1 year, like Frank Wright gave up on you, like
that was weird. No, right. That was weird because they were always talked about as being, oh, this is his guy, and they're close and this and that, and there was no defense to keep him.
I think it was their front office. I think they forced his hand. That's what I think. I think if it's okay, well, if you keep him and then we don't make the playoffs, we're letting you go. And I think that's just how Indianapolis is. Ever really since Andrew Luck's left, it just they're in a mess.
I mean, I think there was a lot of
Leonard came out and was like, "Yeah, another quarterback, another 5 years." Like we all know that doesn't sound like he's happy about it. So
now look, all right, we're in this position. We have him now. Can we move on, Will? Can we move on now to something that, hey, let's go on, look at the draft. Can we look at another quarterback? Do we get another quarterback with the 11th pick, or do we wait till maybe later on in the draft? What do you think?
Yeah, that's the $1 million question is what are they going to do? I mean, you certainly don't think the 11th overall pick is going to be a quarterback now. And to what people are kind of talking about, Carson doesn't really do well if he's got someone behind him that's pushing him.
Yeah.
He seems to have some trouble with that. In his head, being able to be the guy if he's got BD Nick, behind him, or if he's got Jalen Hurts drafted potential, and he just can't seem to do that. So I think you got to tread carefully, because you certainly could in the second or third round draft someone to come in and learn and kind of sit from him. You also could go later on with someone like from Wisconsin and Notre Dame, Jack Cohn, who probably is never going to be a starter, but you're grooming a backup. And you're looking at a chance for Carson Hinton. We're going to give you a chance here. We're going to let you, take the reins from here if it works. And if not, we got it out in a year. But I think it's really going to be interesting to see how quickly do they try and get a rookie as well to come join us. I actually think what Nate said is the biggest point here. In the last 2 years, 2 coaches, 2 organizations have shipped him out. That's something really concerning. And Indy is not saying necessarily because of play. They were talking about it from locker room, from leadership, from he had some COVID issues, getting a vaccine, and like kind of Ron wants someone to be a leader, and this guy is not exactly screaming like I'm the leader of the team, like we all thought when he was first coming up out of it.
Right. Now, and see, that's another thing. That's one of the things the reason why I brought that up about the Joe Flacco thing. A lot of these guys that come from maybe big name schools are kind of in the
Flacco,
similar.
just really quick, went to Delaware, not Delaware State.
I mean, okay, my bad. Thank you, appreciate it. So, but a lot of those guys that go to the bigger name schools, the Ohio States, the Michigans, they all kind of train together. They all combine together. A lot of those smaller schools, they kind of have their own close-knit group that they stick with and they do that with. Is this something? I mean, we always talk about, a lot of the big name Power 5, all these teams coming together and they play in a league and it's kind of like the same mentality. With these younger guys, they all have chips on their shoulder. Is it something with a Carson Wentz or with the Flacco, with one of these guys where it's kind of like, maybe they're not on that same level. Maybe they can't relate to the other guys in the locker room because the smaller schools aren't getting that kind of the TV deals and the same incentives. You know what I mean? This guy didn't go to Anthony, you and I talk about it on the college football. He didn't go to a Georgia, and, a Stetson Bennett might not be on paper the same, but Stetson Bennett has dealt with a lot more. You know what I mean?
The bright lights in the big city, like CeeLo Green said.
Every week. Right. So, you know what I mean? Like, is that something? I mean, anybody, does that play a part? And
I'm going to jump in here. I don't think so. I think leadership is something that you are innately born with. It's not necessarily something that can be taught, especially when it comes to anything really. Anything really. But especially when it comes to sports, you either have it or you don't. Now, one of the two things that can make the team, the offense rally around you is either you are a rally the troops and come on, men, follow me, and they'll follow you headfirst into the fire, or you were just so damn good that they don't have any choice. Because like we always say, what cures all ails when it comes to sports franchises? Winning. And so it's one of those two things. And Carson has kind of shown that he's not really a leader type. And whatever special juice, Michael's special juice that he drank when he was down in Toonland has run out since he was in Philly, and it's just not. He doesn't have that same juice anymore.
It's mental, yeah.
So I mean, yeah.
I definitely agree with you guys. Like, there's a lot that goes on, and Mr. Fingers, I agree with you that we need a leader. We haven't had somebody that's outspoken, that wants to lead the team, that puts everything of the burgundy and gold on their shoulders. And I feel if Carson puts on the uniform, he's going to be like, all right, I got this offense now. Like, there's a quarterback that can go on the field and pretend like, all right, I'm just going to go out for stats, like Kirk Cousins, or somebody that can actually go out there and be like, all right, guys, we got this. Go out into the huddle and be like, you know what, y'all fired? I'm ready. I'm ready to throw this ball to y'all. Get down the field. You know what I'm saying? That's what I feel like we have been missing. Robert Griffin did that pretty well for our offense. I'm not going to lie. That was one of his strengths that helped everybody on the field when he was there. Mm-hmm. His power of leadership, of like encouragement, getting everybody like amped up.
His play didn't help. I mean, his play helped as well. You know what I mean? Like that didn't hurt.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. And now we have Carson Wentz, who has been on the chop block in Philadelphia for 2 or 3 years, and then Jalen Hurts comes in. Oh, I'm pissed because they just got a new quarterback. He's mad. Right. He goes out to Indianapolis, trains hard, does literally the best year he's probably almost had.
And then,
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Now his backers that don't want him are sending him off to Washington. If I'm Carson Wentz, I'm marking myself off as a dead man. I am training as hard as I can so I can show everybody what I can do.
Yep.
I'm going back to the conference so I can show the Eagles what they're missing.
Yep.
That's what I feel like his motivation is right now.
Yeah.
He should be in the middle of a Rocky training montage right now.
Yeah. Correct.
Up in the mountains, like when Rocky was getting ready to fight Drago.
Like he's alone. Like he's like, ain't nobody supporting me right now. I got this.
Exactly. That's where him going to the smaller school is kind of like that chip on his shoulder. Now that chip is a mountain. That's a boulder mountain.
Yes.
It's huge. And he's like, let's go. You know what I mean? Let's go. Will, what were you saying earlier, Will?
Yeah, it's exactly what you're talking about. It's like when it comes to small school guys and coming with a chip on their shoulders, proving themselves. And then he did, and he got a big money deal. And so did he slack off? And the fact that now he's been traded twice. He's been, just discarded. People are blasting this trade as, oh my gosh, they gave up too much for this guy, and now he gets to go against Philly twice. And Philly still has the general manager who got rid of him there. The coach has changed, but he's got, a guy that he can, really stick it to Philly fans twice a year, and going there to the link is not going to be easy. Hopefully that can motivate him to play a whole lot better for us. Because, I mean, it is an improvement on the field.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. Absolutely. And obviously the elephant in the room, if he can stay healthy.
And see, that's where I think he can definitely benefit our team because, when he was on Philadelphia, he had a backup quarterback. He had somebody there to help him. We have Heineke. He's good off the bench. I'm not going to lie. His strong point is when he's seeing somebody get hurt and he's like, you know what? I'm fresh. Let's do something good. Let's get out there. Like his brain fresh off the bench is like ridiculous. He's like that. But I feel him being that backup is probably his better suit. He's not good out the gate, first quarter, like, let me decide everything where I need to go.
Right.
I really think he needs to learn that, and he hasn't had anybody.
He's a relief pitcher. You know, give him a couple late innings where he can go do it. He's great for that time, but don't give him a full 9. He's not going to do that.
Yep. I really feel like he could be one of those, like, you know, Tyson Hill every now and again come in, special play. Rivera's just going to, you know, do his riverboat run, third down. Let's put in Heineke to get us a first down.
Okay. Oh, maybe like Taysom Hill. Okay. Okay, look, all right. We appreciate it. Look, I'm going to go right around, and we're going to give our quick predictions of what we think is going to happen. Nathan, I'm coming to you first. Nate, what do you think the outcome's going to be? Is Wentz going to do good for us, or are we in a Fitzpatrick situation where he gets hurt in the first week?
No, I think Washington will do fine. I say they'll go 11-6.
Ooh, oh my!
That's way more than fine.
Okay.
That's the division winner right there.
I can dig that. Okay.
But I did have one question before you go, because I don't know if you guys could, but you guys were talking about leader. What type of leader? Vocal leader, pointing people out? Because there's different ways.
All the way around.
Yeah.
I think
all the way around. When it comes to football, you kind of had to be all the way around. You had to be able to encourage the guys that you can see are putting in the effort, but maybe aren't getting it. You need to be able to call out the guys that are not pulling their weight. And sometimes you have to be able to say, hey, guys, if you made the mistake, hey, guys, that was on me. Like, Sean, you and I have talked about before with a quarterback. Maybe missed the receiver on the play, and he's coming back, and he's like, hey, man, that was on me. I'm coming back to you somewhere in the next sequence. You know what I'm saying? You have to be able to do all of those things. And above all else, you have to be able to step up at the most opportunity, step up at a time when the team needs it most.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think it's just a general all around. There's no one specific category.
Yeah. Yeah. So, hey, go right into it. Mr. Fingers, Mr. Anthony Handy, what are your predictions? What do you think is going to happen with this guy?
Well, you know, I think that I would like to say last year Washington had some issues. Okay, you know, they had issues. I used to play at Savannah State before I came down there. I think the team went like that year before they went something like 4-6. Now, after Coach Davis, the coach that's all up, went down there, won the SIAC championship. Shout out to the men's basketball team winning the SIAC Division II, going to the tournament. Lady Tigers too, go Tigers. Anyway, I feel like Washington is on. Washington is for a come up. Washington is due for a come up. Now, Nathan, I'm not gonna go as far as you are. No, by the way, sir, don't forget August. Chicken wings. You're gonna have to figure it out, brother. You're gonna have to get if I gotta drag you down there and take you and get you a chicken vaccine so you can go ahead and get your chicken, we're gonna have us a chicken wing.
Lord and me.
Anyway, we gonna keep it. You know, I got to see how I got him, Sean. I didn't mention to do it, but they call me the escalator because I come up and creep on your slope. Anyway, Washington, I think they do for a come up, just like the escalator. I think that I really think that Riverboat Ron is gonna figure out how to do something. He's going to be like Lawrence Fishburne on the raft, paddling his way over to the juke joint. He's going to think something up. He's going to cook up some W's. I think that Riverboat Ron is going to cook up some W's this year. It's going to be some L's, but it ain't going to be a Club Shake. She ain't going to give out as many L's from the kitchen this year. I'll say I'm not going to go as high as Nathan, but I think that Washington will feel, it's 17 games this season, ain't it?
Yeah.
I'm going to go. Okay, I'm going to get out of character. I'm going to go. I want to say 9. I can't do that too long and make my throat hurt like Cat Williams. I want to say 9-8, 10-7, which is still a vast improvement over this past season.
But Anton, what how you think Wentz is gonna do this year, man?
You know, I wanted to answer Nathan's question. Honestly, I think we've been looking for a leader that is vocal. Period. We've got talent. We've got people that can put stats. We've got people that can get out there on the field, but we haven't had anybody that's vocal. And that's the part that we have been missing in a leader, period. And to go back to that, I want to say with the revenge that if Carson Wentz can pull, I'm going to say 11-5. I'm going for it. Like, I feel like that's why I say my confidence, Mr. Moral Support over here. I'm going to go for it.
That's your name.
I feel like the team could use this. It could be a really good uplift for McLaurin, for our boy Young. Like, their enthusiasm in the locker room will carry.
Yeah.
I think we're going to get 11 games.
What about the other game? 11-5. There's 17 now.
They're flying in the Mission Man
formation.
We even 12. We even 12-5.
No, I'm gonna go 12-5.
Okay.
I'll go for the top.
Wow.
Hey, look, Sean, you I know you was clowning, but you predicted that the Commanders were going to the Super Bowl next year. This might be the year.
I did do that. I did do that. Does that make me crazy? Does that make me
wow.
crazy?
You might have to edit that in.
Crazy. It happened. Hey, and this household seems to be gold. So there we go. Hey, we appreciate y'all coming on here. We appreciate it. Yes, this is going to be an interesting time of the year, and we definitely are going to bring you guys back for the draft and as all that stuff gets going. So, Mr. Anton Benton, Mr. Anthony Handy, and Nathan Snell, definitely appreciate you. Take care, gentlemen. Yes, sir.
North Carolina sucks.
Nathan Snell has left the chat.
They all have exited. Wow. Craziness. Absolute craziness. Oh, thank you so much for joining the show, gentlemen.
Sorry, I was muted. You need to answer your question. What do you think? You asked them, what does this do to our record next year? Before we even get into offseason, what do you think?
Honestly, right now, I think it's closer to a 10-7 or a 9-8. I think his injuries, maybe not as much injuries, but I think his shortcomings are going to come out. We don't have a Jonathan Taylor. You know what I mean? That I think Jonathan Taylor hid a lot of his shortcomings. We don't have that. So I honestly think he is just going to be a 50-50 type of year, man. I mean, we're going to be in the playoff hunt, similar to certain points towards the end of the year. We were still in the playoff hunt here, but I personally don't think. I think he's just going to be a disappointing year.
Yeah. I think it's like next year we don't have to play Buffalo. We don't have to play Tampa Bay. We don't have that type of schedule where we're playing the other division's best team. And so I think he is a 1 or 2 game improvement on what they had. I mean, Taylor Heineke won 7 games. All right. I really think Carson Wentz can win a few more than that.
Right.
So I think we honestly, just like you said, it's going to be just like it was this year. December 1st, somewhere hovering around 500, a little bit above, a little bit below, battling for win and get in, 5 games to prove yourself type thing. And we're looking at another 9-8, 10-7, which, depending on what moves we make, are probably right exactly where we're at. We're in that middle of the road team that might have a chance to break good, or it certainly could break bad like it did at the end of the season.
Exactly. And my only thing with him at this point is just that we don't have another Fitzpatrick. I do not want a situation where we have this guy, we get him into the season, and then all of a sudden he's hurt, and then it doesn't even matter. We can't even judge him for anything because he never played a game. You know what I mean? Like they alluded to, Heineke is a backup. I'm good with that. You've talked about it. We've all talked about it, that he needs to be your number 2 guy. That's fine. He can come in and bring in, relief, like a relief pitcher. But I want my number 1. If Wentz is going to be that, let's go. And then obviously we'll talk about the draft and what we expect and everything like that. But, hey, free agency is closed. We've seen moves being made left and right. The Packers, they franchise tagged Devontae Adams, and Aaron Rodgers has told everybody he's going to stay. The contract is in the works. Okay, we've seen what happened in Seattle where they traded Mr. Russell Wilson. And I do have to ask that. We are Washington. What does that say about us? We went after Russ. We didn't get him. You talked about what we did last year. We were not successful. This is a pattern of people don't want to come here.
That's exactly what I'm kind of segueing to free agency about.
Okay.
Is what's it going to happen? It's exactly that, which again I think is why they decided we had to make this trade.
Yeah.
Because they were saying is how are we going to get people? We keep getting told no because the offense, if you're a quarterback or if you're a receiver, you kind of look at the offense and say you got some pieces, but you don't have it all together.
Exactly.
You're on defense and you say, hey man, last year, 2 years ago, y'all looked real good. Last year, you looked like a train wreck.
Yeah.
So tell me why I want to join that, And so I think there's a lot of selling that these guys are going to have to do to improve this roster. And again, which is, like I said, that's why I think they really felt we better go force our guy to come here.
Yep. Hey, and look, be honest, they're already sitting here asking. So are Allen and Fitzmagic out, or did they get the boot? Let's go right into it. Will, you're the GM. We are in this situation. We've obviously made this move. Yesterday, if you were the GM, I don't know. It was a totally different situation. But now we've made this move. Wentz is our guy, apparently. Where do we go from here? What are your focal points? What do we do, man?
All right, let's roll up the sleeves because
Here we go.
all my notes got thrown out.
Right.
If it wasn't 2022 and I had paper, I'd be crumbling it right now and throwing it away to say,
Let's go.
I don't know what to talk about now. Because I had about a whole page that I just had to delete tonight of like what we do with quarterback. I still think at this point, you still got to be looking at how are we going to prove the weapons around him,
Yeah.
Logan Thomas is a talent, but Logan Thomas towards ACL towards the end of the season. So when is he going to be available? Can we really expect him available for week 1? Right now, we've got Terry McLaurin, who is probably Carson Wentz's best receiver since he's been in the league. I would argue maybe Alshon when he was in Philly that Super Bowl year. But so that's going to be a weapon. You got it. You don't know about Curtis Samuel's health. It was a groin injury. It wasn't a, tear. It wasn't a break. It was like a strain that just kept straining, basically. Yeah. So you got to wonder, is that going to come back healthy, for him? So we got to do something to upgrade our offense, And I'm kind of going a little broad here, and then we can get into the specifics. And we've got to fix this defense because I'll tell you this: it doesn't matter who we bring in at quarterback. If we are still getting gashed on third down, on 3rd and 14 up the middle because our linebackers suck and our safeties suck, it doesn't matter. If we're still giving up plays because our corners play soft, it doesn't matter. So we still have a lot of work that needs to be done on patching this. My biggest concern right now, I'm looking at my board of how we can fix this team. We just took on we have $33 million going into Monday. We just took on a contract for $28 million.
Yep.
Where is the money going to come for us to spend?
Exactly. That's one of the key things because yesterday when we're playing with the numbers and we can take on this contract and we can do this guy, it's like, okay, we can play around with this. We can. What did he say? We can do math. I can do my math. I know if we have 8 million here and maybe 7 to 10 million over here, we still have money to play. We can work around this. Now, the worst part about this, taking on that 28 million is like, wait, what? Now we definitely have to make some moves. We're like, all right, get rid of you. Like, it just doesn't seem that smart to. I don't necessarily have the problem with bringing him, but it just didn't seem that smart to do that.
It doesn't seem to fit with Ron's philosophy of slowly building this team, of also being able to do more. Now I'm hearing that Eric Flowers, is most likely they're gonna work on an extension for him, lower his cap, extend him for another 3 years. That's gonna open things up. You gotta think that, and I actually had keeping Landon Collins on my this is what we should do, but you gotta think that Landon Collins is probably gonna get cut at this point. Because now you're looking at we're gonna need that $7 million we get from it, because we need a player who can replace you. Not replace your position, replace being on the field somewhere else as a starter. We need that for a left guard now, or right guard. Strike card for Brandon Sheriff. Yeah. And here's, hey, Ab, when you listen to this on the pod, here's music to ears. We are not re-signing Brandon Sheriff now.
Nope.
That's what this shows me. We cannot afford it.
He's gone. He's gone. Oh, wow.
But no, I mean, that's my thing is like I was anticipating playing a little bit of a Madden general manager here, where I had every single position. I would had someone lined up at safety, at guard, at linebacker, at wide receiver to sign. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to sign the cheapest of cheap quarterbacks. I wanted to sign Tyrod Taylor so that we could improve everybody else on our team but quarterback and draft somebody. I was getting leery of seeing Mitch Trubisky is going to get $20 million. Jameis Winston is going to get $20 million because now there's a demand. I'm sitting there going, I don't want this. I don't want this $20 million to one quarterback. Well, guess where we're at.
Yep.
So
right there.
Yeah, it kind of throws things off a little bit. That's for sure.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Shout out to Brandon Garner watching, said Wilson thought about his family transition from one end of the states to the other, which may be a lot. However, Denver was a more promising squad. Broncos do cut HC is Russ's old coordinator. In addition, it also shows that with all the mess we're trying to sweep under the front office and with the plumb dumb decisions we've been making with free agent signings in the draft, like Fat Albert and Haskins, we don't have too many offers to sway the top tier players. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Gone are the years of this Redskin signing spree, where we just overspend everybody, because players are also saying like, I do want to get paid, but I don't want to go there and be miserable. So they ain't coming here.
Exactly.
What I think is kind of interesting about this, and it's kind of changed a little bit, but I really was anticipating seeing like the first couple of days of free agency are going to give us a lot of clues as to what we're doing in the draft.
Right.
If you go out and sign a middle linebacker that's a veteran, we're probably not drafting a Nakobe Dean or the guy from Utah, at 11. If we go out and sign a big time wide receiver, we're probably not drafting one of the wide receivers from Ohio State, or from Alabama, one of those, at 11. Wide receivers now off the board, but that all kind of changes now, because now you do have to look at, okay, if we're going to fix this roster, wide receiver at number 11 in the draft may be important, depending on how we can, what we can actually bring in.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And in free agency. Now, I mean, at wide receiver, that was one of the places we talked about with the draft, but also in free agency. Now I'm going farther down the list. Now I'm looking at guys like maybe like a Laquan Treadwell, who maybe didn't pan out, elsewhere. That's not asking for much, but I'm going on what was projected of him out of college. Now I'm looking at some of these guys lower in free agency that I can put money on it. I look, Will, you messaged me as soon as it happened. This blew up everything that I was talking, everything that we had planned. I have notes, and I sent you a text right before we came on, just an X through everything.
Yep, you did.
Because it was like, I don't know where do we go? But does this now? Do we now just go straight to the draft now, or is there anything we can do to salvage this? Are we starting to cut? Do we need to start putting people on the chopping block? You said Landon Collins. Like, what are we thinking?
Yeah, I don't think we need to give up on free agency just yet. And the part of the reason I do it is again, I was not very good at Shepherd at my accounting classes. I actually repeated it so I could get a better grade. But I do understand some basic math. And like the Green Bay Packers went into the offseason $45 million under the cap.
Right.
They restructured some contracts to save $27 million.
Yeah.
Then they franchised the wide receiver and signed a quarterback for $50 million. I'm not a CPA, but that math does not really add up. There's a lot of funny math.
Right.
And so what I'm trying to say is some of these contracts and what we got, and the salary cap, sometimes it's a bunch of let's quote the last guy in charge of our country. A whole lot of fake news that we're looking at here.
Yeah.
So I don't think we're done in the off season with free agency. I don't think we can punt. but I think we may have to scale back. And we were talking wide receiver. I'll be honest. Going into tonight, I was saying, like, let's go big. Let's go get Juju Smith-Schuster.
Look.
All right.
Amari Cooper.
So I was just going to name him, actually.
Yeah.
See, I mean, I don't think Dallas is going to trade him. I think they're going to cut him. I think they have to cut him.
Yeah.
And that's exactly like I would go after Juju because he can play a couple of different roles. I would go after Amari Cooper. Heck, the other guy I had listed was the other guy at Dallas, Michael Gallup.
Yes.
He's been number 3 for the last couple of years.
Yep.
Yes, Curtis Samuel would be here, but he has a chance to be number 2 here. Because if Curtis is taking over the slot and at running back, you have a chance to be featured more. Would he be interested in coming to a place to get a little bit, more chance of getting the ball? So I would love to see them go after a bigger wide receiver. I think economically it makes sense to go with the draft with this, but I do think we need to go after. We got to add some players at wide receiver, including re-sign Cam Sims, re-sign DeAndre Carter, bring them back. But if you wanted a couple lower names that I did think about, Zay Jones out of Oakland, Las Vegas. I'm sorry, he's a bigger guy. DeMarcus Robinson out of the Chiefs. Again, could be looking at a chance to get more targets than we're getting. And here's all right. We were going after last year just some speed guys. This guy has not made it as a wide receiver, but if you just need someone to like go deep, and Carson Wentz can go deep.
Yeah.
Dante Pettis is with the Giants.
Okay.
Maybe we go get Deshaun Jackson again.
Hey,
let's
1 year.
That. Let's
1 year.
Bring back the Wentz to D-Jax connection.
1 year. I'm telling you. If we're talking about 1 year, he's another name I looked up. Danny Amendola, who's just going to get a quick little first down. 1 year. Anything to help Carson Wentz, I'm with that. Now, like I said before, Laquan Treadwell is definitely somebody. And I'm going to bring a name that I brought up a year ago. Gave me a hard time, but he has good pedigree. Chad Beebe. All right. He's a free agent. We can get him. He can play special teams. He will be really cheap. I'm talking money. I'm telling you, this man is like a Rudy. He's going to make it happen.
Tell me how Chad Beebe is any better than what's Adam Humphries or Dax Milne.
Listen. If I'm telling you, he's got good pedigree. I'm coming from a pedigree perspective. Okay. All right. But honestly, like you said, before this, I'm thinking Jameson Crowder, Christian Kirk. These guys in here. But now you're looking at the money and you're like, how are we going to get some of these guys in there? But I agree. We need to get wide receivers, especially if we're going to get him, because that is something that we have not had in a while. We thought we had it with Fitzpatrick, the deep ball. You know what I mean? We didn't have it with Heineke. We didn't have it with Kyle Allen and some of those guys. Now we were having we need to get some receivers that can take the top off. McLaurin, Ab said it. Ab stated a couple weeks ago. He's turned into a possession receiver because of the quarterbacks that he's had. Now we're having an opportunity to go deep. Let's get him some help for that.
What about your boy Diami? Unleash the beast.
Let's go. Wait, hey, look.
They love him. I'm like, we don't like him. They love him. And they feel like they saw something at the end. And they said they think one of the things that was holding him back was the quarterback play. And can they get it to him? Well, we got a quarterback who can get it to him and who likes to go deep.
And that's something, that's what we need. See, the thing is, we have the pieces. We talk about our issues with Samuel and him staying on the field, Logan Thomas and that, that injury. We talk about those things, but if those guys are all playing, we're something to mess with. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? With Curtis Samuel, with De'Ami Brown, with Terry McLaurin, Logan Thomas, and the running backs in the backfield. We have some serious weapons if they can stay on the field. So let's go. I believe that we can do that, and picking up a couple pieces here and there. I actually don't feel as bad as when I first heard the news about Carson Wentz, and I was like, what are we doing? Now you sit back and you think about it, you're like, okay. No, Carson, Curtis Samuel did not play this year. I'm just saying next year, if he can get healthy and we can get what we expected to get from him this year, There we go. We're being optimistic.
Glass half full, absolutely.
You have to.
Got
you have to.
Got it.
It's frustrating otherwise.
All right, so we did wide receiver. What's your next position that you think we need to be upgraded?
Linebacker.
Yeah.
First, I definitely think linebacker. And what did we see either yesterday or today? Calvin Noy gets released from the Patriots. We looked at him last year. I want to go back after him. I do not now with that this happened. It's like, okay, well, what I don't know what we have to play with, how we can figure that part out, but that's somebody that I want to look at. You mentioned Walker, the Anthony Walker from Cleveland. That is more on the table. When I had first started this, I had Anthony Hitchens from KC. I was like, let's go. I really want to spend up for this. Now I'm kind of pulling back, like, okay, maybe Christian Kirksey from Arizona, kind of. Let's see what we can work with now. But linebacker is key, and also, what did you have? Did you have linebacker as well? Or
Oh yeah. I mean, that they've said from a while that they have to upgrade at middle linebacker. I was anticipating. I was going to say, let's spend big. Let's go Quan Alexander. Let's go Anthony Walker. These guys are under 30. Let's go give them a big 4-year contract, and let's not worry about the draft with these guys. This is our young guy to take over. I also think we should re-sign John Bostic. I think it's important to have someone because he can play both outside and inside. So if you do have an injury, better slide him back in and let him take over. I think that would be a good move. Looking at it now, we may have to go after if we could get a Bobby Wagner who can be that leader. You talked about we talked about this last week about, hey, can we get someone along the defensive line like a Ryan Kerrigan, like an Everson Griffin, like an Ndamukong Suh to really kind of be in these guys' ears.
Vocal leader, right?
Yeah, but when you get Bobby Wagner on there, who's he's not going to be able to have a super long contract, but that also allows you then to use some draft capital to get our Chad Muma from Wyoming, to get the dude Anderson from Montana State, and who could really use some time to get adjusted. That might be the route that we need to go now. Appreciate it, Brandon.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because like I said, I really want to go big. I wanted them to spend huge here on one of these guys, and maybe we need to kind of go a little more aging vet who can still produce, and then kind of draft new replacement.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Nathan's saying corners and safeties.
Yeah, safety's my next big place.
Yeah, and speaking of, let's go right there. Who do you who were the first couple people you were looking at? Or
man, I mean, I was going in with this saying the reason why I wanted Tyron Taylor was because I wanted to give Tyrann Mathieu, Marcus Williams, or Quandre Diggs 10, 15 million a year.
Right.
Like I don't want to go into next year with Bobby McCain as our starting free safety. Like we can't do that. And so we got to have some type of improvement. And I'm not even comfortable going in with Bobby McCain at free safety and that so that we can go draft someone. I just want us to find a way to open up some money and go put it into a safety. I would love to see us get any type of free safety who can be a ball hawk out there. And there are a whole bunch out there we could spend some money on. We mentioned there's at the Jets, Marcus May, the 2 safeties in Philadelphia we could go after. So that's kind of the route I'm looking for. I would love, and I'd throw all the money at Honey Badger. I can't see him wanting to come to DC. That just doesn't seem like a defense that he would leave Kansas City for this. So that's kind of what I'm thinking there. But I still say let's go. Let's if we're gonna let's go spend some money on safety.
Yeah. I mean, and look, that's what we've been talking about. That's something we absolutely need. We need that. I agree with you. I had Rodney McLeod. Marcus May was obviously my number one that I had circled. I thought that was the one I wanted. That and PJ Williams. You know what I mean? Oh, no, that's corner. Wait, he's at corner. Right? I think. He's corner. Yeah. So I had those guys circled, but I was really focusing on the draft. Now I'm definitely still want the guys from Philly. I love McLeod. I love what those guys bring, but Marcus May, I'm like, I want this is where this and linebacker. We talked about this a week ago. Are places that we really wanted to focus on getting somebody that was We know they're established, spending up to get them. So yeah, I agree with what you're saying. And another spot that I was thinking about, he said safeties, also cornerback. Talked about P.J. Williams. He was somebody I was thinking about. Chandon Van Sullivan out of Green Bay. Looking at corner. And then Xavier Rhodes, veteran, played for a couple years. I know he's somebody that I can get in there, plug and play. I know he knows what he has to do. And those are places where I think like we tried to hit that last year at corner with William Jackson III. It didn't work. Let's try again. Let's get somebody that we know can get in there. Maybe we can get William Jackson to play solid this year, change it up. We see if we can get St. Juice to play a full year and then look potentially in the draft, later in the draft to get a steal. But that's somewhere. Corner is somewhere where I was really disappointed this past year, and then unfortunate injuries and whatnot. So that's where I wanted to really focus on corners and then also safety.
So if we find ways to get the money to really do some things in free agency, this would be a place where I would love for us to, if we got the wide receiver, if we got the safety, if we got a middle linebacker, that allows us to then transition to using that number 11 pick on a first round cornerback. Someone like the dude from, was it Cincinnati? Gardner, Sauce Gardner, someone to come in here, not only push both William Jackson and Kendall Fuller, say, hey man, we got someone right here who's ready to take over too, but also to bring some more talent onto the field. And so that's kind of, for me, I'd love to see what we can get in the draft at corner. Just wondering when it comes to how much would it cost us. And if we get other players, does that open that up? Where earlier, a day ago, I would say, probably can't go corner, not yet.
Right.
But now it's like, all right, well, if we don't have to worry about quarterback first round now, most likely. So let's improve another position.
Right, absolutely. And you know what? And hey, shout out to Brandon. I think the offensive line is still a priority. Now that we have a Carson Wentz, is this something we need to focus on? Is that something that maybe we need to look at? I had a couple guys on here, Trey Turner, Quentin Spain, a couple guys that, could potentially get for a lower cost. Is that something where we're like, we know how many people we went through last year? Do we need to focus? Like, let's get some of this.
100%. Because there's one thing that people started noticing with Carson Wentz is he likes the deep ball. He likes the big play. He threw 27 big play passes last year. And where like Brady had 44, Russell Wilson was in the 40s. So he's a step below those guys, but he likes to look deep when he can. Yeah. He wants to make the bigger play, which causes him to hold onto the ball a little bit too long. And that's where he can be susceptible. Remember in 2020 how many sacks we had on him in the home opener? Chase Young got him twice. He stripped him. Everyone was sacking Carson Wentz in that game.
Right.
But it's also because he kept looking downfield. Yeah. So we have to work on. If you're going to let Sheriff walk, which we're going to because we have to for the cap savings, you can't. We got to find someone to come in here and play. I think the name to look at is Laken Tomlinson. He's with the 49ers now, and I'm playing the connection game. Martin Mayhew drafted him in Detroit, and when he got to San Francisco as the assistant general manager, they traded for him. Ooh. So that's a name to look into. I love the dude from Chicago. Let's steal him from Nick and Delilah. James Daniels.
Let's go.
He's a young guy. It'd be good to bring in someone young. And then someone said this when we first started talking. He mentioned the Colts guard, Mark Glowinski. Bring him with him. So I definitely think, we need to be focusing on the guard in free agency.
Yeah, we got to fill that hole, that impending hole. We know it's coming. So that, I'm glad they mentioned that. He said, even with Wentz being a scrambling quarterback, he still needs protection, and to pass to Gibson, he needs opening to burst out of some of the runs in the middle. Yeah, we do. We absolutely need to. And Gibby needs to hold on to that rock. So I'm not going to lie. Yeah, he needs to learn that and bring that up here because I'm not going to lie. Catherine is already saying that Mr. Kenneth Walker is going to be the rookie of the year. Just throwing things out there. Yeah, Yeah, exactly. So, so if we need to pick up a Kenneth Walker at a Michigan State, I'm just saying.
Yeah, she's holding it to her. Yeah, I do think when we're talking about offensive line, we've seen so many injuries they've had. Wes Schweitzer is a good player, but I just don't know if you want to just plug him up as a starter and then lose that as a backup. Where look how good he is as a backup. Someone to come in and play.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Last year, I mean, it was great that we were able to still, succeed on the O-line, even with all the different people in there. But that's not ideal. You know what I mean? You want to have, at least 3 to 4 of your guys on there the entire year with, even if 1 or 2 guys, you can understand if they get hurt. But, you don't want every guy. You don't want to have, what do we have, 8 different centers or 8 different guys playing a certain position. It's like that's not ideal. That's not what we're trying to go for here. So, yeah, we're definitely going to look at depth, but also look at getting somebody player, whether or not be in the draft like we did a year ago with Sam Cosmi. There's some guards that we can look at in the draft, or through free agency, there's some guys that we can look at. And, I'm interested in that. Is there anywhere else that you're really focused on? So I have one other place.
Well, you go to your place, and I've got a question for you to talk because it feeds into the draft.
Okay. So my other place is something that we dealt with all last year, and it's kicker.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. I think this is something huge. We know Joey Slye is a free agent. I have no problem going back after him. I felt like he gave us a little stability at that position. I do, however, want to go with a guy that and this is on my fantasy, but I had him all this year, and for the most part, he was the dominant force. Mr. Young Ho Koo, okay, out of Atlanta.
Uh-huh.
Yo, I love him, man. He dominated for me on fantasy, like I said, when he was in. Definitely love his ability. For us, he's consistent. That's something that I think is needed. If we don't re-sign Joey Slye, definitely want to go in that direction. And I had one other guy on there.
Was it Nick Novak?
No, no, it wasn't Nick Novak. I looked at Nick Folk, but it was Greg Joseph of Minnesota.
Yeah. He's a free agent?
Yeah, he's a free agent. So I was like, really? I was like, yeah. Let me get some of that. So we need to have a solid kicker. Because I feel like we're right now, we're right in between. We're going to go down there and at least get a field goal out of you, or go down there and get a big play touchdown. There are too many opportunities, or we could have like changed the game where we could have got field goals that we were missing field goals earlier in the season. So that's something that I want to focus on. Definitely that.
Well, and especially since Joey Slye, didn't he not miss a kick with us?
Right. He was solid the rest of the year.
Yeah, but that's not actually his history. So you gotta wonder, like, did we just get really lucky last year?
Right.
Like, is he? So some of these guys you talk, the dude from Atlanta is good. That dude from Minnesota's got a leg.
Yes.
So it is something to kind of look at. Like, is there a chance to upgrade there? But I mean, Slye certainly has earned his ability to come back here.
Yeah. Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Even after Hopkins and all his nonsense.
Right.
You know what I mean? And he's a free agent. That guy.
Bring him back. Yeah, I'm with Brandon. Listen here. I'm trying to trade my first-round pick. I'm trading number 11 to Baltimore for Justin Tucker. Hey, man, if we can get to the 35 and get 3 points, let's go.
All right. I'll take it.
You're right.
Every time.
All right, so here's my question to you. In lieu of in light of trading for Carson Wentz, what does that do for us from a quarterback perspective? We've got Wentz, we've got Heineke, so you've got your 1 and your 2.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think from a roster construction we should do? Knowing that you don't have a 3rd-round pick now.
Yeah. There, I think with that, as far as you're talking about, as far as potentially getting, do you still look at quarterback in the draft?
Do we still? Yeah.
One of the guys we've mentioned, Carson Strong, I don't know that he's going to go as high as people think. If we could potentially, if he's available a little later, I would say go for there. There's a couple guys that we might get later, but I don't think we go. Definitely don't go number one. And our second pick, unless it's a can't miss prospect, you know what I mean? Sam Howell.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, unless it's somebody like that, then you just don't do it. I don't think you take that chance on even a Carson Strong is still kind of like unless people, and see, that is where I feel like kind of like this situation where we kind of felt like we were reaching for this. I don't want us to be a third and we're like, oh, he's still here. Let's reach for this guy where it's kind of like, is he worth that? Do we need to do that? I think we might, if they're around, I think we might as for earlier pick. What do you think?
Yeah. So I go back to like early on, I said, we're really going to find out here on our next show what our next step is in the draft based on what we do in free agency. And I think we'll find out here in the next couple of days how active we can be and how does that impact the draft. Because if we don't have the ability, because of the cap, to get a wide receiver, to get a middle linebacker, some of the positions we know we have to upgrade, to get a guard, can you afford to use your second round pick on someone that's going to sit for a little bit?
Right.
Or do you need to pick someone that can plug and play immediately? Not having that third round pick might really change things. This is going to be music to Abdul's ears. This may be a situation in the first round where we need to look at trading back, knowing that we don't have a third round pick, but can we trade back a little bit, go to the late teens and get somebody and then be able to recoup a draft pick. So I think we will know a lot more on Wednesday what the options are, because like I said, if we go out and make one splash, but we can't do a whole lot, then that opens up the draft pick as we may need a starter as a result of this and not a developmental guy. Like I would have thought if we had gone after a James Winston or Trubisky or someone else, I would have told you, I would have put money, second round pick at least is going to be a quarterback. Where now I'm like, I don't know, can they?
Right. Can they afford to do that? Look, hey, we shall see. I'm excited. Not as excited as I was.
I know.
Because I was kind of excited about trying to figure this stuff out. You know what I mean? Now this kind of like, okay. Well, all right.
Right. Unless they're able to sign Carson to some type of extension that lowers and allows outs, who knows? Yeah. All right. So since we're not really sure now what we can really do, my question to you is, who is our first position that we sign? Where are they going to put their priority?
Honestly, I think you still have to put it at defense. I think you still have to, because if they can't look, we've had good offenses, but if you can't stop anybody, the mediocre offenses, even the good ones, can still struggle, and it's been our downfall. We've focused on defense last week. We saw the videos and things that we made and the attention that we got, because defense is number one. I think we need to focus on securing that, getting our guys in there. If that means we start in the middle, Tim Settle, Deron Payne, if we're going to put that money in, we know what they can provide. If we keep, and they're on the field. I think we start there. I think we start with some of those guys. You talked about John Bostic. You know what I mean? I don't know we're going to be able to do with Mr. Buffalo Nickel, Mr. Landon Collins. I don't know because of what's happened now. But like you said, money can jump from here to there, and maybe we can figure out somewhere. Maybe he takes pay. Maybe he likes staying here with us. He has the affection for Sean Taylor. Maybe work for that and work to that in our benefit, because I think he can definitely figure into our plans this year. But we definitely, in my opinion, still have to focus on defense. I want to get a line and I want to take care of that, but I still think we have to make sure that our defense is something that's at least where we were 2 years ago. Chase is rookie of the year, and if make it get better from that position.
Yeah, I think so too. I really thought next Wednesday we're going to be sitting here talking about 2 or 3 signings like we did last year.
Yeah.
I think we may only be talking about like one signing. We may be talking about Carson Wentz and and something and then a new guy. But I think if we're going to get one guy, or the first guy they're going to prioritize, I think is going to be middle linebacker. Yeah. I think they really feel they had a hole, and like you said, we're not going to get better if we don't shore that up. They do like Bobby McCain at safety, so I don't like it, but they may be fine putting him back there. But I think they know they have to fix middle linebacker.
Yeah. Brandon saying it's going to be another wishing and hoping season. I'm still window shopping for other squads. Wow, man. Hey, don't leave, brother. Hey.
He's getting beat down. You can't blame him.
I understand.
Many years of it.
I understand. He said we still need to score at least 24 to 28 points a game offensively. Yep. That'll make a whole difference in the season. The stout defense can hold it down. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, man. Shout out to our guy, Mr. Brandon Garner, the author of this great clip right here.
That make me crazy.
Nice.
Give us that little soul. Yeah. Shout out to you, man. But yeah, no, it's definitely something that we're going to have to look into, and I cannot wait to dive into this. But like you said, Will, we had money to play with.
I know.
And then it's like it's like your parents say, you don't get the one big item. Get a couple small items. And then you can have multiple things, but you're like, oh, I want that one thing. Now you don't have anything. You have no money to do anything else.
Nope.
You know what I mean? So that's where we're at. Hey, shout out to you, Brandon. Yeah.
Nice.
Good dialogue. Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, man. Hey, I'm with you. We'll see what happens this coming week. We'll see how all the deal and all the things play out. But at this point, Carson Wentz, welcome to Washington.
Mm-hmm.
This is where we are. I'm okay with it.
I think we're better on the field. I do think we're better. And I'm going to go with the fact that Carson Wentz, he likes FedEx Field. He plays well at FedEx Field.
Right.
Now he's going to give us 8 of them, maybe 9 good games at FedEx Field.
The first thing I thought when I saw this news was I thought about you and I talking, and you said, well, he's really good against Washington. He's good at FedEx. And I said to you, if he can play us twice a year, he'll be great. Or if he can play us 16 times a year, he'll be great, but he's not getting that. Yep. Well, now he can play for us 16 times.
Uh-huh. He loves the shadows. It's got to be it.
God, look right here. He said, how to save money in free agency, according to Wagner. Yeah. Oh, we're going to figure out. We're going to be some frugal shoppers. Oh, man. Will, yes, this, ladies and gentlemen, we have to say this. We talked about this. We talked about this all week. We had a whole lineup. Will sent me an agenda. I sat there and I put it down on paper. We set the agenda. And look, I'm going to show you guys. People, look. The whole agenda, just there's a big X between the whole thing. As soon as we heard the whole Carson Wentz thing, it was just.
Now what do we do?
Yeah, right.
Now what's next?
Where do we go from here? Oh, man. But, hey, we're looking at it the best way we can. This is where we are. Might not have been what we wanted initially, but at the same time, all right, now we can see. Now we don't have to worry about what to do at quarterback or what to do at free agent for quarterback. Now we know we got this trade. Let's move on. There it is.
Yep.
There it is. So stay tuned. Next week, we will be coming because next week, free agency right there. So we will be coming with what can we do? We'll be figuring out more parts of this deal. We'll see who's getting re-signed, whose deals are getting restructured. You know what I mean? Obviously, now we're going to have to move some money around and figure out where we stand from here. I'm looking forward to it. Not as much as I was, but definitely we'll see.
Yep.
You know, what are you thinking, man? But hey, Will, you got any last words to say, man?
Football therapy, it just got turned upside down today about 2:30, 3 o'clock.
Well, real quick before we go, what were you doing when you saw the news? Like, what were you?
I was sitting right here at my desk.
Yeah.
I think I was working on some like projects we got going on, but yeah. And then I lost all concentration for an hour and a half. I flipped on the speaker. I started listening to Grant and Danny. I listened to JP and B Mitch go to Grant and Danny, and all of them were like, "What are we?" And like they were all like, "What are we going to talk about now? Like our whole show is ruined."
Right. Yeah. Oh man, God.
Here's the biggest thing that makes me mad about this. Let me tell you this.
Yeah, go ahead.
I had an idea. Okay, I said that Washington needs to get butts in the seats. Yeah. All right. So what they need to do, they need to bring back. So they need to get this guy in free agency at quarterback, and then they need to draft someone first round, early second round, like a Sam Howell who can probably come in. But this guy's going to start us off, and this guy's going to put butts in the seats, because running out as the first starting quarterback for the Washington Commanders would be number 10, Robert Griffin III. You know that people would come to FedEx.
They would.
There's half a fan base that still loves this guy.
Yes, they would.
And he was out there throwing passes at the combine. Like,
I'm
what are you
man.
doing, bro? You got this huge contract with ESPN, and you were still showing, I can still do this. I can still do this.
Yeah.
I got this. I was like, oh, sign him. Sign him. Let him put the 10 on. Let him run out. Hold the American flag to start the season again.
Exactly.
FedEx would be rocking. As we may lose that game because he can't see anything, but FedEx would be rocking to start the season.
It would sell out in minutes. People would come to either love or to hate him. It would be amazing. It would give us attention. Hey, there you go. And don't let him win. Do not let him win, because we know he'll lose the rest of them. But if he wins that one, they're going to be like, oh, here it comes. He's back. He's back. I love it. Oh, man. Look, I'm going to clip this and put it on IG and see if that guy comes out and calls us an idiot again.
Do it. Here's Will's free agency idea.
Right. Let's get it. All right, man. Yo, we appreciate you guys being with us. Brandon, you were in here. My guy, Jay Red, David, Ab, Anton, Anthony, Nathan, all of you guys that were here watching us, enjoying this with us. We appreciate it. Yes, this is very interesting news, but we're still here. We're still moving and grooving. We're going to figure out how to work this thing out. Stay tuned next week. Free agency will be upon us, and we will tell you what's going to happen, where we're going, what direction we're going to move. But I'm gonna still play this at the end because I still believe it. Wait, do I still have it? No, I don't have it anymore. Oh, I still had it.
I hope it's We Want Dallas.
Oh, hold up now. I always have that. Let's go. Yo, we'll see you later, people. Peace.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
I am Janae Strother.
I'm Sean Spencer.
We are back.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen.
I gotta go out and hold up.
Come on. The line. The line. New music, so fine. Kirk Cousins.
All right. I am Janae Strother.